Morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do the January 14th Spiritual Principle a Day in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. The title of the meditation is Discerning When to Act. We learn where we can use our energy to make a difference and where we need to let go. That comes from the Living Clean book, chapter 3, Awakening to Our Spirituality. Life and active addiction for many of us seem like a battle, picking sides, winners and losers, retreating in fear from all conflict, or bullying to get what we wanted. We tend to bring this mindset with us in recovery. Some of us confront and challenge more than we engage and listen. One member shared, I brought a sledgehammer to all my relationships. I felt it was my duty to pound my perspective into every discussion. Choosing my battles was a cop-out. As we mature in our recovery, examining our behavior through step work, most of us will figure out that we, N and A, doesn't really mean me, plus all who agree with me. When we say the we version of the Serenity Prayer in our service bodies and in business meetings, we're inviting discernment into the proceedings. We ask for courage, acceptance, and wisdom to guide us. Instead of approaching service meetings like gladiator games, we concentrate on cultivating enough humility to appreciate and learn from each other. We gain trust in others and become less invested in getting our way. We apply this newer mindset in all relationships. We can also tie the Serenity Prayer to discernment in terms of prioritizing our time and energy. We can discern where our efforts would be best focused to change the things we can, accept what we can't, and let go when others want to make a different change than we do. We can ask ourselves whether we're getting too caught up in minor details rather than paying attention to the big picture and where we can make a positive impact. Sometimes the most discerning choice is to say nothing, step away, and let others step up, the member went on. At other times, honest self-assessment will lead me to choose a particular battle. But now I try to approach a conflict in my life with spiritual principles in my arsenal and forego the sledgehammer. This strategy can apply to so many realms within our lives: sponsoring, parenting, romantic relationships, in our jobs, while driving, and of course, in a service. Not everything is battle worthy. Where can I apply my energy today so that I am contributing to the well-being of others? What situation can I pull back from that isn't benefiting me or anyone else? Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. This is a marvelous meditation talking about discerning when to act. And I do believe that all of us have this component in our personalities, right? Where we came in with a sledgehammer and we knew that we were going to argue, we were going to debate, we were going to bully, push, shove our way through whatever the discussion was. I'm amazed. There's people still in my area. They have as much clean time as me, or maybe even more. And every discussion is an argument. And these people really don't realize that no one, hardly anyone, wants to be bothered, wants to be anywhere near where they are when they start their mess. These people are troublemakers, and have not fully benefited, other than not getting high and acquiring some material things. They have not fully benefited from the transformation that can come from actually doing the step work and applying spiritual principles in all their affairs. And I don't want to be like that. I do not want people to turn and run the other way when I walk into a room of Narcotics Anonymous. This recovering addict mentioned here that it's giving their experience strength and hope, said, they brought a sledgehammer to all their relationships. They felt it was their duty to pound their perspective into every discussion. Can you imagine constantly dealing with someone that has an argument for everything? The way they think, the way they see it, right? And if you don't see it the same way that they see it, or think about it the way that they're trying to explain it to you, or come to your senses and decide that they know all, they have no use for you. They only run with the people that are willing to allow them to have their way all the time. And that's just not what we're talking about when we're talking about the we in this program. That's not what we're talking about, having the wisdom to know the difference, right? The courage to change the things that we can. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about there is understanding that every battle, every discussion, every situation, every decision to be made is not necessarily needing even our input, especially if we have not weighed out our own motives and come up clean with them. If I cannot come up to the fact that this is an honest motive, where I really feel the integrity of Narcotics Anonymous or the group is going to be harmed, 9 times out of 10, it's something that I am personally beefing with someone else about. And I just don't need to do that today. I have enough problems. You know what? When I went to that World Convention, I had a few individuals not happy that I was happy. And I just could not figure out afterwards, were they beefing with me, or were they beefing with some of the people that I was engaging with? Or were they just beefing with the fact that there was so much joy in my circle and they were feeling excluded? What was really going on? And when I think about it from that perspective, I was like, these people just needed a hug. They just needed a hug and to be told that it's going to be okay. Can you imagine being at a convention and you're beefing with people you don't even know over things that are clearly being told to the whole group that it's okay to take your photos or videos as long as they're for personal enjoyment, even if you're posting on social media, to make sure that it's not, just randomly made public. In other words, tag those individuals that you want to share that with so that they can see. And so I was just really amazed. I was really amazed that the battle this particular individual, well, there were 3 of them, but this particular individual chose, it just really seemed like they were an outsider and they wanted to be included because there was just so much joy. Now, the other 2 situations were over something different, and I would say a deeply personal situation, but it resolved itself. with me deciding not to fight, right? With me deciding not to fight. Yeah, picking my battles carefully. And you can do it too. You can do it too. I know you can. If I can do it, you can do it. And we all deserve to apply this, discerning when to act. Discernment is a spiritual principle. And sometimes our discernment is off kilter because of the personal circumstances we are going through. It's very difficult to have good judgment when your body is in pain, when you're struggling with just functioning on a day-to-day basis, and you're angry, right? Because you're hurting all the time. It's very difficult to have good judgment when you're depressed or having self-pity. And there's a difference. A lot of people think they're depressed and they're actually on the pity pot, right? So discernment is something that we learn to practice. And it's almost like, the best way I can put it, and I'll let you go after this, the best way I can put it is practicing the spiritual principle of discernment in all of my affairs is like being on the track and field team, right? Or playing a sport, and you are personally mincing. You are in so much pain. You're cramping so bad. Sorry, guys, right? And you still need to function. You still need to perform at your best. And you are literally grouchy and in so much pain. It's unbelievable. But there is still a demand, a pull on you to perform and complete the task that you agreed to complete for the team. So the team comes away with the win, not the L, right? And so that to me is what practicing discernment and knowing when to practice it, or being able to not only say when to practice it, but to be able to practice it in all your affairs, even when you're uncomfortable, even when the beef you have is deeply personal. Knowing when to act is such a gift. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you have a beautiful day on purpose.